Hi, it's Nancy. I'm back today with a couple more cards using My Hero Arts February 2018 card kit. When I first bought this kit, I thought I was going to have a hard time with it, but I have just been able to think of all kinds of ways to use this stamp set. So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some foam marbling on my background. So I'm taping off my card panel using some tape and then some stickies so that I don't get the ink um, on the other side of the panel. And I'm going to get out some Distress Oxide inks, and I'm going to use a dauber and start rubbing the ink into the cardstock to have it kind of look like marbling. I'm going to lay the ink down, starting with the black soot, and just hit some spots on the card. And then I'm going to go in with the Salty Ocean and add a little bit of that color down. And then I'm going to use the fossilized amber, and I'm going to just go back and forth on top of the card until it starts to look to resemble marbling. I'm going to use one of the egg die cut and try to put some little splatters of the Hero Arts white pigment ink down to further enhance the look of marbling. And I thought that was going to be a good idea, and it turns out it didn't work so well. So I went ahead and got out an ink dauber and just rubbed that ink in a few times. And after it dried, it looked really nice. So I set the card aside a little while so that the ink could dry, and then I came back and I'm going to assemble the card. As you can see, the tape didn't make a nice clean crisp line there, but I'm going to fix it by putting my sentiment down over that where I made that mistake. And now I'm just kind of trying to figure out how I'm going to lay the card out, and I play with it a few times before I come up with my final game plan. I had previously cut the birds out with the ink that came in the kit and tried to give them a two-toned look. And then I used the what's the word sentiment and stamped it back and forth on my side panel there, and also used the musical notes to create my sentiment strip. The kit came with a wood-looking brown cardstock, which I've cut down to be slightly bigger than my bird panels, and I went ahead and glued those down. And I changed my mind a few times on the way I wanted to lay this card out, and I finally decided I was going to lay the sentiment down vertically, and I used some foam tape to raise it up a little bit. And now I'm going to just glue down the birds to the right of the card, and still using that Nuvo Deluxe adhesive, which I really like. So I get the panels laid down, and then I decide I'm going to use some glossy accents or Nuvo drops to add some dimension to the hearts. And I'm going to let that dry a few minutes before I adhere it onto the top of my card. I also get out a white pigment ink and kind of highlight their eyes again. And then I put my initials on the back of the card. This is another card that I made that I didn't get videoed, but what I did is I cut out this red panel and made a panel that was slightly smaller. And then I stamped out my images, and then once the ink was dried, I lifted the panel up with some foam tape and then glued the stamped out panel on the inside and added a few little sequins to fancy up the card. So those are the two cards that I made today. I hope they may inspire you to get your kit out and use it. Thanks for joining me, and if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.